What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, we finally got the Photon Overcharge Augment mod for the Glaxion from the current season of Nightwave. I've done basically every daily challenge and every Nightwave challenge to get here, and here we are with the Glaxion Augment. We'll be going over how crazy good this thing is because, yeah, it's really good. It's really worth the wait. And basically, like, what kinds of builds you can expect to run with this thing. As a reminder, some of the builds we're showing today will be getting some massive buffs in the Jade Shadows update, which is, like, literally tomorrow at this point. So let's get right into it. Keeping in mind that all the stuff that we're showing today is going to be even stronger tomorrow. So let's get right into it. So, the new Photon Overcharge Augment mod is available to Nightwave, and as far as what it does, it's going to only work on the Glaxion, and here's what description of the mod. Now, what the mod will do is that it's going to, well, technically you can run multiple crit damage mods, but it's going to give you 90% critical damage, so that's the first thing it does. But additionally, on kill or assist, the slain enemy has a plus 2% chance, or actually has a 2% chance to drop an energy orb per cold status effect affecting them. So, on the current patch, cold procs are capped to 9 on an enemy, so that's going to equate to a 18% orb drop on enemy. Now, the fun thing about this is that this is actually in addition to their normal energy orb drops. So, for example, on a Eximus enemy, Eximus have guaranteed energy orb drops, and they have a guaranteed double health orb drop as well. But with this augment thrown into the mix, that guaranteed energy orb can become 2 energy orbs. Now, it's only an 18% chance to proc, but yes, this can stack with the built-in guaranteed orb from Eximus kills. Now, other enemies don't have a 100% drop chance on those orbs, so it's going to be not as noticeable on them, but, I mean, 18% is a decently high chance, and like 1 in every, like, 5-ish kills should give you an extra orb. So, what types of builds should you be running with this? Now, if you look at the background gameplay footage, you might be noticing it might look a little bit goofy how much I'm casting abilities on Chroma. Well, I'd like to let you know this build on Chroma I'm currently running is a shield gating Chroma build, and the way we shield gate is casting a 116 energy ability. So, with the power of this Glaxion Photon Overcharge Augment mod, I could just endlessly spam these abilities. I'm spamming 116 energy ability over and over and over again. Now, to be fair, it is with Nourish thrown in the mix. Nourish giving me like 98 energy per orb, but you can kind of see where this is going. I'm having an increased chance of orbs from these enemies that are dying, and also, like, I'm able to recast my abilities constantly since I have these shields back up from the Brief Respite mod. I'll show the build in a second, but from the Brief Respite mod, I'm getting my shields back. I'm shield gating. The enemies cannot kill me unless I get like Toxin procced, or if I don't push the ability buttons fast enough, technically. But yeah, with all these orbs dropping, I can sustain this type of build with relative ease, because you can reload while using Vex Armor, for example. So, really good stuff. The Torrid can't do this. If I was using the Torrid in this footage, I probably would have died, honestly. There wouldn't be enough orbs dropping. I'd run out of energy from all the shield gating. So, that's going to be one of the fun things you could do with this. Now, as far as the build I'm using in this footage, I'm going to show you a second build after this, but the build in this footage, I got the Corrosive Cold build on the Glaxion, and I've got a built-in magnetic Glaxion. This ribbon is actually not even really worth running. It's an electric ribbon, so if you want to do the exact same build with no ribbon, just go like that. You got more status chance than me. The only thing you're missing out on is a little bit of fire rate, but you got Prime Shred for that. Prime Shred will allow you to shoot through multiple enemies. If you're trying to do a higher level mission, I've got this on here for the quest tomorrow, because I plan to use this weapon in the quest. If you're fighting against, like, Corrupted, you ban the Corrupted there. Fighting against Grineer, you ban the Grineer. But I got Amalgam Serration just for, like, everyday missions and just to do the quest tomorrow. Like, probably, like, level 50 enemies. But yeah, this Augment is replacing Vital Sense in my build. So, what this really boils down to is if you want to use this Augment or not, are you okay with sacrificing 30% critical damage, because 120% critical damage in Vital Sense, or 90% on Photon Overcharge? Are you okay with sacrificing 30% critical damage for that 18% chance for an extra orb from each kill on enemies that have a bunch of cold procs in them? That's what it really boils down to for me. And for me, I deal so much damage with a lot of the builds I'm using that it's totally a no-brainer to me to definitely want to run this Photon Overcharge mod over whatever else was in there in the first place. As far as the build here, we've got Nourish giving us viral damage. It goes great with our Corrosive and our Cold, because remember in the Jade Shadows update, enemies will have overall less armor, so we might even have to use the 2 green shards, and we're going to maybe run 1 green Tau shard. But yeah, the cold procs will freeze enemies solid, giving us more crit damage, making up for that crit damage loss from not running Vital Sense. We're going to also have the viral procs giving us more damage. We're also going to have Vex armor giving us 822% damage increase. This is my second Chroma. Yes, I have 2 Chromas with Tau shards on them. It's true. But yeah, a big damage buff here is great for just chewing through enemies really fast. And with this augment dropping a bunch of energy orbs, Energize is going to go crazy. Now, there's other fun things you can do with this arcane, or rather this augment with other arcanes. Let's start with the second showcase here. It's going to be on Sevagoth, using this new Glaxion augment. Now, there's a little bit of goofiness at the beginning here. There was an acolyte that just didn't want to go down, but after that, a frame with really, really bad energy economy like Sevagoth could actually get some pretty decent use out of this. And I'm actually going to take it a step further here. We're going to take a lesser used arcane and do some fun stuff with it. So I showed you the Energize can be nice, getting constant energy flow from this augment. But what if you want to turn your Glaxion augment into an additional CC source? Well, we've got the arcane called Arcane Eruption, which will cause us to do an AoE knockdown. Actually, what does it exactly say? On energy pickup, 100% chance to knock down nearby enemies, and +1 Arcane Revive, technically. So we're getting orbs to drop. This is my build for the Sevagoth augment. I actually had this mod taken off. It's the exact Sevagoth no shield gating augment build from yesterday, but I'm kind of like cheating. I'm probably not going to even run the new augment, so I got Stretch on there instead. But basically, we got Adaptation and Prime Redirection to get our shields pretty tanky. We've got Roar for more damage, we can nuke enemies down. We've got Shadow Haze to give guaranteed crits, and that works on the Glaxion, of course. And the rest of the stuff just to like make sure we can sustain abilities. The big thing here is that the Slow of Gloom, combined with Arcane Eruption, is going to be like pretty much just stun locking the enemies in place. Is it always useful? As you can see right here, that enemy on the ground, enemies are actually still alive, but they are stun locked by this combination, and they can't really do anything. Now, I'll let you know that I actually ended up failing the survival because the enemies were so stunned. They were getting like stunned really far away. But that being said, we're getting these additional orb drops. We're able to sustain our abilities as frames like Sevagoth a lot easier. And that could be really good. Now, as far as the frames I've used this on so far, I have used it with Frost. I did some pretty extensive testing with Frost abilities and Thermal Sunder cold ability to see if this works with the augment. From my testing, sadly could not really show that it's working on any abilities such as Frost's 4th ability or Cold Thermal Sunder for that matter. I do have some other funny things to talk about, but they're not really for the purpose of this video. Basically, like, in the simulacrum, if you get too many orbs to drop on the ground, the older orbs despawn. So that was a fun way to figure out that this is kind of hard to test in the sim. But yeah, that being said, it's still good on frames like Frost that want to have the energy sustain. It's still good on frames that, you know, might have energy issues. Like maybe you don't want to run Nourish all the time, or maybe it's really good with Nourish, to be fair. Maybe you're like, I don't want to have to run Energy Nexus. This could be a great thing for a zombie Revenant build, giving you some extra orbs here and there to sustain your abilities. You'll be able to cast Reeve all the time. Maybe you can even throw on Thrall Pact for Revenant to get increased primary damage. What I'm trying to say is this augment is definitely worth modding and building around, unlike the not as exciting Sobek augment Clip Delegation. Now that we've gotten this augment out, I can safely say this one will be one that will be used a lot, and the Clip Delegation augment will be probably forgotten. So yeah, this is one that you're going to definitely want to have. Now, as far as the best elements and best builds for the Glaxion, I do think the magnetic one is the best option, like bar none, especially with the magnetic changes coming out on Tuesday that will involve magnetic dealing more damage to Overguard and dealing more damage to Nullifier Bubbles, and also exploding enemy shields when they break. So there's a lot of things magnetic will have, and I mean, who really wants to mod for magnetic? I'm speculating there might be a plus magnetic mod pretty soon, but that is definitely speculation. You're not really modding for magnetic. Having the built-in magnetic on the Glaxion is going to be great. And I have some videos of me doing maximum level content with the Glaxion, so it can definitely get the job done. It's just going to really come down to, are you okay with that sacrifice of 30% critical damage for that energy orb drop chance? I think that, honestly, with those new cold changes, giving even more crit damage, it should be no problem at all, and there are plenty of orbs dropping. Let's go ahead and just quickly show it in the simulacrum here, so we can hopefully get a decent idea of just showing you how this works. But there's more fun stuff you can do with this for sure, guys. So don't let this quick preview video be like, okay, well, that's all the stuff that there is to it. Just more orbs for Nourish frames. No, there's plenty of fun stuff to be had here. So it is a lot more interesting than the Sobek one for sure. Additionally, you could use the Grimoire. There's this Grimoire mod called Cra Canticle. Enemies have a 12% chance to drop a Universal Orb. How about that with this Augment? That could be tons and tons of orbs on the ground. Now, let's go ahead and show you what we're going to be testing here really quick. We got the Photon Overcharge mod giving 18% orb drop, or energy orb drop chance on a enemy affected by cold. We've also got Primary Frostbite to give, tons of extra crit damage and multi-shot. It's pretty nice, but you could run Deadhead or Merciless instead. Okay, so we're going to summon in a bunch of Eximus here, and let's try to see if we can find any of them giving double orbs. Because I tested this on stream today, but, there's still more testing to be had. It's a little bit annoying to test because it's only an 18% drop. Okay, so let's just summon in these enemies, and we're going to use the same build from the video. Actually, technically the different build from the video because I don't have my Riven equipped anymore. So as you can see, instantly shreds them, and there's that, okay, right there. Was that might have been 2 of them, but guaranteed orb on those Eximus. Okay, that was for sure 2 orbs from 1, okay? That was so 2 orbs from 1 Eximus right there. So confirmed it does drop double orbs. It literally did it twice in a row there. So you can expect a lot of orbs from this, guys. It's a really nice Augment. And I'd say it is kind of like, as far as this Nightwave season's concerned, this is the best loot in the entire Nightwave Augment, or entire Nightwave season. The Sobek one, more niche for sure. Easily able to lose the buff. The armor, the armor is subjective if you like the armor or not. This, for anyone using the Glaxion, the Tenet Glaxion for that matter, I'd highly recommend that you try this Augment out, and it lets you be a little more flexible in builds. Like, I could honestly go to my Sevagoth build, the one I put in the video, and I could be like, well, now that we have this new Augment for my gun I'm using, I could maybe even put on like Blind Rage or something, because I have more energy orbs dropping, the flexibility of my build is increased as far as the actual frame. So there's more customization to be had. I just want to make sure I showed you guys how good this is. You could even go further, dude. You can go even further. Where is that one mod called? This one right here, Energy Conversion. Energy orbs grant 50% more power strength to your next cast. You can somewhat reliably have those orbs dropping with no dispensary, no nothing like that. So there's tons to be had here. Guys, I'm really happy about this Augment. Hopefully you find it fun too. It's like level 25 or 26 in Lightwave Path. So yeah, see you guys in the Jade Shadows update on Tuesday. This will be getting even better with those magnetic proc changes, cold proc changes, and the like. So see you guys next time. As far as other Glaxions, I got a Heat one that's for an upcoming video, but that is not going to really recommend. I don't recommend overall a magnetic roll with a corrosive cold build. You guys take it easy. I'll see you next time. Peace.